Shalom Yashrala, this your brother Dawada, coming back at you with this here truth again. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shah, Bahashim, Rakak Wadash. Double honor to the apostles and the elders of the great millstone that taught us this truth and that rule well. And salutation and much love for you, I can push this truth and sincerity over the four corners of the earth and enduring afflictions to feed and edify the elect. So I want to jump into this here article real quick. It says U.S. Navy targets indebted Americans. All right. And, I spoke about this not too long ago about how they're trying to make it a little more lucrative for these here soldiers to get signed up. They're giving up extra bonuses. All right. They're taking down, lowering some of the requirements and things like that. All right. Just for people to join into the military. You have the whole thing with the tequila shot, which is turning a lot of people away from the military. So, hey, this is what, they're resulting to. And you think that they're doing this in a time of peace or in a time that they're ramping up and preparing for war. All right. So it says U.S. Navy targets indebted Americans. The Pentagon hopes to attract new sailors by paying off up to $65,000 in student loans. The U.S. Navy wants to persuade Americans drowning in debt to join by offering to pay off their student loans with enlistment bonuses as high as $50,000. And again, preying on the weak. They got them into this situation where they're all indebted and student loans and everything else like that. But the government, they trap them into these raw deals and don't want to, release them from it. So it's like, hey, we'll give you a way out, by way of what? The military. All right. And what's the point of paying off their student loans if they're not going to be coming back from the war anyway? It says recruits who are willing to ship out by September 30th. All right. And keep your eye on that. Recruits who are willing to ship out by September 30th and meet other requirements will be eligible for as much as $65,000 in loan repayment, bringing their total bonus potential to $115,000. The Navy announced on Saturday. And the crazy part about it is you're going to have a lot of these Americans that's going to look at it just like how most Americans, you can go on YouTube right now and type in why did you join the military? And you'll see, they'll ask a bunch of people why they join the military. And a lot of the people say for the bonus, for the Camaro, for the money, for this and for that, or because I'm stupid. And a lot of these people, they're actually joining just for the so-called money. And, in past times, you did have where people would be able to sign up, get their sign up bonus and everything else like that and join the military and get some type of, BS job in the military where they would never see no combat or anything else like that anyway, they could go in and serve in the military. And again, like I said, never see any real combat or, they just have like a regular job or something like that. And a lot of times they'll have a job stateside somewhere. I've known quite a few people who joined the military and everything, especially around the time of, 2001. And after that, there were some people, I knew some people that went over to the Middle East, but then I also knew some people who had those jobs and they always was stateside and they always just had just like a regular job as a regular civilian, but they just did it, on a military base, and they just did it for the little bit of money. All right. But this is going to be different because, see, we're getting ready for war. All right. It says the offer applies to new sailors and veterans who seek to return to service who didn't receive the bonus for their first enlistment. I wonder why they didn't receive their first bonus, and like I said, you won't be receiving the second one if, if you're not around to receive it. It says this is an opportunity without precedent that could be life-altering for those burdened by student loans, said Navy Recruiting Command Chief Rear Admiral Lex Walker. Nearly 1 in 5 U.S. adults have student loan debt, averaging around $30,000. The country's student borrowing total is nearly $1.75 trillion. The offer comes just 6 months after the Navy raised its maximum enlistment bonus to $50,000 from $40,000, cited a competitive labor market. Like I said, they've been doing whatever they can to try to make it look a little bit more lucrative. It says that incentive apparently wasn't enough to fill personal needs, as all branches of the military are reportedly struggling to meet their 2022 recruit targets. The Pentagon has estimated that about 1% of the 17 to 24-year-old Americans are both eligible and inclined to enter the military service. About 77% of people that are in that age group are disqualified because of obesity, drug use, criminal records. All right. Most of the remaining 23% have no interest in joining the military. And that goes to show you the so-called status quo of you Americans, man, and how these other nations look at you. Just like, look, man, y'all can have all these people over there if you want to. But look, The majority of people are obese, overweight. All you do is sit around and eat McDonald's, drink Mountain Dews, and play video games all day long, man. All right, you have another a portion of you that's nothing but drug addicts. You know what I'm saying? You have this epidemic of opioid addiction. All right, they didn't legalize marijuana in a lot of states, so all people want to do is sit there and smoke all day anyway. You know what I'm saying? And then you also have people who are pretty much criminals, man. All right, breaking the laws and just doing just being how you say savages out here, man. All right, and then you have another group of people that's so-called soft and so-called woke, like, and I use that in quotation marks, so-called soft and so-called woke, to the fact of the last thing on their mind is so-called is going to war and fighting. They're more worried about fighting for their little rights about using whatever pronoun they want to use and everything else like that. It's not like they want to, they're not going to stay, they've been bred to be very docile about anything. They're more or less like, I'm gonna go get a sign and I'm gonna cry for my rights and scream at you that type of way. That's the type of war that they're trying to fight. Not saying that you should be trying to be gung-ho trying to go fight for this nation, but if you catch my drift of the type of people I'm talking about, the ones with the purple hair, you know what I'm saying, screaming in your face about their rights and whatever they want to go and do. This is what you got, a bunch of these pansies over here in America, man. All right, so hey, you don't have a lot of people that's over here. It's like, thinking about their quote unquote country first. Like some people in other nations, they're like, nah, man, this is all we got. So we're gonna stand up and we're gonna fight for our country and everything else like that. Again, not saying we as Israelites should be fighting for this country, but this is just the sentiment of these Edomites over here, man. A lot of them are so docile that they like, man, to hell with all of that, man. All right, it says even in active duty ranks, more than 17% of the U.S. military personnel are considered obese. According to the 2019 Pentagon study, the Navy has the highest obesity rate among all branches at 22%. And that's another sign of, the times, that you're living in with a lot of these American military men. Again, you have a lot of them that's obese, a lot of them that's actually secretly on drugs. All right, a lot of them that's, and you see a lot of these women, and going back to the point of a lot of these folks is going in there for the money. All right, but going back, you see a lot of these women that's out there and getting kicked out the military and just all on TikTok in their uniform twerking and stuff. Like, this is what their mindset is with trying to being in the military. And it goes back to the point of them being in the military. For what reason? The reason that they in the military is just for the money. They're not there to go out fighting and everything. I remember it was a video. This chick, I believe it was the same chick too. She was out there twerking and everything else like that, all on video. And there was another one where they was talking about they might be possibly going to war. She started crying and, I don't want to go to war and all this ain't for me and everything else. But not too long ago, you was just all sporting about how you a strong military woman and everything else like that. But it was just for the flex, for the gram. You flexing in your little uniform, dancing in your uniform. But then when it was time for you to actually go and fight, you broke down like a little baby, saying that that's not what you wanted. But hey, this is what you have going on. All right. It says the latest incentives are designed to help the Navy meet its recruiting requirements for the specific job roles needed to ensure fleet readiness, according to the Navy Recruiting Command memo released on Thursday. Bonus caps vary for specialties. For instance, recruits assigned to high-demand jobs in the nuclear field, such as specialized electronic technicians, can be eligible for a maximum bonus of $50,000. Air rescue swimmers can qualify for up to $38,000, while special warfare boat operators and hospital corpsmen get $36,000. Recruiters can be less picky at times of greater needs. For in April, for example, the Navy offered $25,000 enlistment bonus for all recruits who were willing to ship out before summer. And again, a lot of these jobs down here are actually like, like I said, more or less like wartime or fighting jobs. When you go into the military, what some people don't realize is, like, just because you're in the military don't mean you're gonna ever see no combat. You have people that's in the military. They have, like, especially on bases, they have people in the military that are like, that just be like barbers that cut hair, military police, mechanics. You know what I'm saying? You could have like a regular job like you have just as a civilian in the military, and you just on the base, you getting paid, twice. You're getting paid for being in the military, and you're getting paid for the job that you do in the military, but you just in the military doing these things. Like I said, I've known people who, you ask them, well, what you do? Oh, I'm a mechanic. What, you be over there in the middle of the war fighting or something like? Nah, I'm right here, in this state or that state or in the same state, and I just work on a military base repairing, military Humvees, or I work, on computers and, how they say, IT and tech and stuff like that. I just work on these types of things, telecommunications, help with the telephone lines and stuff like that. Or they just work at some be a store that you would work in as a civilian on these bases. So hey man, a lot of these people, they'll go into the military taking these jobs, but right now, they're trying to ramp up for these things. All right. So let's go to Matthew 24 and verse 3. It says, and as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came to him privately, saying, tell us what shall these things be, and what shall be the sign of thy coming and the end of the world. Jumping down, verse 6. It says, and you shall hear of wars. It says, and you shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that you be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. It says, for nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilence and earthquakes in diverse places. And all these are the beginning of sorrows. So these are the beginnings of the end. All right. And we're starting to hear of wars and rumors of wars. All right. We're starting to hear of, kingdom against kingdom and nation against nation. All right. We're coming into the time of what they call World War III. All right. And for this here war, you're going to need a lot of soldiers, man. All right. This is 2nd Ezra 16 and 17. Salakia. It says, woe is me, who will deliver me in those days, the beginning of sorrows and great mourning, the beginning of famine and great death, the beginning of wars, and the power shall stand in fear, the beginning of evils. What shall I do when these evils come? So, hey, we're again going back into the beginning of sorrows. All right. Great mourning and the beginning of famine and great death, the beginning of wars. All right. Because look, it's not going to be like in past times, like I said, I know even after September 11th, all right, when they went to war in Afghanistan and Iraq and all that, there was a lot of people signing up going to the military, a lot of people actually going to war. Like I said, I knew people that was being deployed over there and everything else like that. And I knew people who was in the military, for quite a few years and everything else like that, and never left stateside. Never had a combat fighting job. Never had anything else like that. And they was just signing up for the money. Like, bro, you dumb for going into the military at a time like this where they shipping out for war. Nah. I don't got a job like that. I got a job like this where I'm going to just go get paid and I'm going to go do this, and that. And I'm like, bro, what the hell? You done got a damn job in the military and you work right down the street or whatever. You still come home every night. You still do this and you still do that, And, they do train you up to be able to, basic training and everything else like that. But, they not really invested too much money on bringing a goddamn barber to the battlefield. Like, bro, you don't really, the last thing you need to be worried about is getting your hair cut in the middle of a war frame or war fighting. So they not really, they didn't invest that kind of money into you, but you got your little signing bonus. And this is what you did for 4 years. And like, yo, you could say, yeah, I was Army veteran. I was in the military and everything else like that. But nigga, you was a barber in the barber shop. You know what I'm saying? And you got your little, a lot of people go there for their quote unquote higher education and things like that. But this is going to be a different time, a different scenario right now, man. All right. This is Joel 3 and 9. It says, proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, prepare war, wake up the mighty men, let all the men of war draw near, let them come up. So again, this is not going to be a time of so-called just, you in the military and not be called up for service, like what was it, World War II? All right, you had like a major slaughterhouse of bodies on bodies on bodies on bodies. They was just grabbing any and everybody who could, some of them had uniforms, some of them didn't have uniforms, just as a so-called analogy on that scenario. Like, hey man, no need for you to even get fitted for no uniform. You don't even need no uniform. In fact, you don't even need no gun. You're gonna be dead before you even get off the boat to begin with. All right, it's gonna be pretty much like that. So they calling up any and everybody, man. There's gonna be no need. It's like, look, what the hell we need you to be sitting here at the base for? Back stateside, being a barber, cutting hair, or working on computers and things like that. If we don't have a country to come back to, you better get your ass over there in the middle of the battlefield. All right, this is going to be a time now where all these nations are about to start sending all their troops in. So it says, proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, prepare war, wake up the mighty men, let all the men of war draw near, let them come up. Beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say I'm strong. And you're starting to see a lot of these weaker nations, being built up, especially being backed by Russia and things like that, man. All right, now they're all getting in a position to actually withstand a World War III. All right. Assemble yourselves and come, all ye heathen, gather yourselves together round about. Thither cause thy mighty ones to come down, O Yahweh. And this is what these nations are preparing for right about now. They're preparing for war. They're bringing their mighty ones down for war. They're true warriors. And what do you have going on here with, Babylon the Great, man? All right, you just basically have a bunch of obese, all right, drug addicts and things like that over here, man. They're not even ready for war right now, man. And a lot of them, like I said, a lot of them join the military for what? Just a little bit of money. And they know the little loophole. You know, most people don't know the little loophole. Like I said, go get you a little BS job where you're not even worth investing in and sending your ass over to war because, like, you don't really have that type of job. You're not like a mortarman, an infantryman, or nothing like that. You chose a little BS job, man. All right. You know, recruitment and things like that, man. It says, verse 13, put ye in the sickle, for the harvest is ripe. Come get you down, for the press is full, and the fats overflow, for their wickedness is great. Multitudes, multitudes in the valley of decisions, for the day of the Lord is near in the valley of decisions. So, hey, multitudes, multitudes going into what? That, World War III. All right, it's going to be a multitude of people out there on the battlefield, a multitude of people that's going to wind up dying out there. Should have read this while I was over here. Second Ezra 16 and 30, 33. Salaki. The virgins shall mourn, having no bridegrooms. The women shall mourn, having no husbands. Their daughters shall mourn, having no helpers. All right. It says, in the wars, their bridegrooms, in the war shall their bridegrooms be destroyed, and their husbands shall perish from famine. All right. And so, hey, you're talking about all these. They're trying to recruit and bring all these new men up into the ranks and everything else like that. Now, another thing that happens is, especially with these young guys that go into the military, they get signed up and everything else like that. And before they ship out, they may have a little college or high school girlfriend that they dating. And what they'll do is they'll wind up getting married because a lot of the times, the wife can get benefits and everything else like that. Maybe they have a little baby and they're young and whatever. But hey, they're going to get shipped out over there, but they're not going to ever come back, man. All right. This is a prophecy that has to be fulfilled in the scripture, man. That's why we tell you, man, if you're in the military as an Israelite right about now, it's best for you to do whatever you got to do to get up out of that bad boy, man. All right. And the worst thing you can do is go sign up for the military right now because your ass is going to get shipped over, to the World War III, and you're not going to ever come back, man. You're going to be what they call buried in the sands of time over here, man. All right. So, hey, this is just like you've been in Pharaoh's army, man. It's not going to go well for y'all out there, man. So, hey, I just wanted to touch in on this, as they're trying to recruit. This, you can see this here prophecy taking place as it is. They're trying to recruit and get more and more soldiers because there's a lack of soldiers, lack of eligible soldiers and everything else like that, man. And America's so-called gearing up for war. All right. And, you can't even fill the ranks with enough soldiers, let alone you're going to wind up losing all your soldiers in war anyway, man. All right. But I'm going to go ahead and close out with that. Lord willing, the elect was edified with this here lesson. Until next time, I say, call halal Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shah, Bahashim, Rakakwadash. Double honor to the apostle, and that was a great millstone that taught us this truth and that rule well. And salutation and much love for you. I can push this truth and sincerity over the four corners of the earth and enduring afflictions to feed and edify the elect. Until next time, I say, stay strong. Shalom.